using the data available at that time.
Let's go to a Bill in Boca Raton. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not too much. Enjoying the warm weather in Florida just like you, except on the other coast.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Do you listen on the internet right now?
Yes.
Cool, man. Cool.
No, I enjoy that. That's in your Tiger TV and everything. I've been watching you for years, and you've really taken this whole programming to a level that's just phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF Friday, folks, and no doubt coming into this weekend, there's many folks that definitely need that weekend. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Ask for what you want. Find the courage to ask for what you want. Others have the right to tell you yes or no, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everyone has the right to ask you for what they want, and you have the right to say yes or no. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 172, NASDAQ off 38, S&P's off 17, all at the lows of today. Gold contract up $31, trading at $1,854 an ounce. All-time closing high. It went to an all-time high today. Silver up $2.14 at $42.82. Platinum up $28 at $1,873 an ounce. Copper up a penny at $3.97 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $82.65. Bonds trading up 2 points at 140.09. Dollar index down 25 ticks, trading at 74.04. Euro at 143, and the yen is at 76.49. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? You close at the lows in the cash S&P. We're at 1123. 1119 was the low that was generated and the closing low on the 8th of August. The 9th of August, what we did is that we opened, we went to lower lows, closed higher. The 10th, we come right back down to those lows. The 11th, we go topside. We're back into these lows. This is what we did, folks. We did 1.4 billion versus 1.6. Now, that's on the daily. On the weekly, what we've done is that you're pushing into them on the NYSE with 6 billion versus 10 billion. So at 6.8 versus 10. Bottom line, you're 38%, I believe. It's 34, 35% lighter volume into these levels. Now, what you didn't have out here, no doubt, is rejection of price. And you need the rejection of price simultaneously. We didn't get it yet. That's in your SPY, cash. Dow Industrial, same setup in the Dow. What you have with the Dow, Dow gets down to 172. You are at the 10,817 level. The lows out there are the 10,604. NASDAQ Composite. What we did with the Composite comes back in today with 2.3 billion versus 2.8. The Composite has come back with 40% lighter volume week over week, and that's saying that the market is exhausted. But the bottom line, we're at those lows, and when you're at lows like this, it wants to pierce them. The Composite closed at 2341.84. The closing low on the Composite has been 2357. So we're below that closing low. What does it mean? It means that more than likely you can spike them. And the spike would be a spike, and then you come right back up the other side. Now, what gets interesting is this, is that in London today, the London market held. The FTSE held. The FTSE was down 51 bucks. And what you had with the FTSE is that we had, let's see, you had 1.5 billion shares coming into 2 billion. It held. So the FTSE looks to me like it wants to bounce on Monday morning. Now, here's where this is divergence, no doubt. The DAX, the bottom line is the DAX took out the lows. We closed not inside the range, I believe. I believe it just missed the range. We closed at 54.80, and yeah, that's 54.87. The way that's set up is it does want to bounce, so it's going to be a long Sunday night. No two ways about that. Let's go to Phil in North Carolina. Hey, Phil, what's going on? No, he's not there. Phil, you there? Okay, he wanted to look at the SPY, so let's go look at the SPY. The SPY, this is what the SPY did. Now, the volume characteristic is perfect going into these lows, folks. What's not perfect is that you still need the rejection of price. What we did with the SPY today is this. We come in with 394 million shares. That 394 million is going into 718 million. Now, what's impressive, of course, is that this is also option expiration. So what you have is that it had every chance to do huge amounts of volume coming into those levels, and it didn't do it. We put this on a weekly basis. What you have is that last week we did 2.8 billion shares. This week you're coming into a 1.6 billion. We bring this back now. If you want to see, if you're watching Tiger TV and you bring this back on a longer basis, what you do have is this, is that I'll bring this back to 07, and you put this on a weekly basis, and what you're going to see is that the amount of volume that we came down with, and this goes all the way back 3 weeks ago, bottom line was saying that, yeah, the 101 is wide open on the SPY, and that was what the first time that we came down with that heavy conviction. And what that did open up, no doubt, is that it opened the whole 2009 area in order to basically go after it. And of course, what we have done in 3 weeks, we've gone from the 1300 S&P down to the 1104. You bounced, and we're right back to that 1123 right now on the S&P. Some of the high volume stocks we had out here today, let's take a look at them. You had Bank of America was, well, that's not bad, actually. This is going to be interesting that Bank of America could get flat. You had Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard got absolutely smoked. Hewlett Packard has given up their, well, they say they're going to sell their computer business. Bottom line is that, good luck to selling something that has been going down the tubes for quite a while. Bottom line, though, Hewlett Packard was down $5.91, trading out at $23.60. We had ExxonMobil off $1.14. Research in Motion was up 93 cents. You had Eastman Kodak flat at 304. Sprint Nextel was off 7. You had JP Morgan Chase down 84. We take a look at this. Okay. We had Amazon down 353. Merck was up 20. Let's go over and take a look at those bonds. Okay, so bonds, folks. When Steve and I were doing the show this morning, our show at 10 o'clock, and if you haven't checked that out, we do a show from 10 to 11, Monday through Friday, folks. Of course, programming at TFNN starts at 9 a.m. in the morning. Bottom line, this is what you have. There's a butterfly on the 30-year at 142.15. I believe that's the number, okay? What you have here, we have hit on this 30-year, we hit 141.06. That was on Thursday. Today we come into the 140.29, and it looks like that thing's going to extend itself one more time. Let's go to Greg in Palm Harbor. Hey, Greg, what's going on?
Hey, I'm interested in Ford. I travel a lot, and I've noticed Ford, around the world. It seems to be everywhere, but it's like at a 52-week low right now. So.
Are you still trading Citigroup?
Citigroup?
Yeah.
I don't do banks. I just like the car company,
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's take a look at it. We got Ford, and let's bring this back to 07. We'll put this on a weekly basis, and I wouldn't be touching this baby right now. What you have is that you made that high out there of 1877 with nothing behind it. You came down with some velocity, and you're coming down into that swing point. See, the last swing point out here had, on a weekly basis, had 590 million shares traded. You just come into that with 649. So it's low, but it wants to get lower. And when I say get lower, your next stop down here is 784. And if it comes down like it came down 2 weeks ago, not this week. This week it's contracting. The volume's contracting, okay?
Right.
But what you have is that at the price point of 1032, that had some vengeance behind it. At the price point of 987, it had vengeance behind it. That's saying that, the next stop is down there of November of 09. But I suspect what you're going to probably see is it's going to get back to May of 09. And this is what this is, folks. This is another equity. They're all making their way back to May and April of 09. That's what's happening, and that's where you want to get interested in it.
Well, now you scare me now.
Why?
It's about $1.89, you know, back to...
No. Okay, I'm glad. Let's clarify that, okay? That level there, it did get to $1.40, but that's November of 08. The level I'm talking about is 471 to 626, Greg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay, thank you very much.
Have a great one, man. Have a safe one. And if you want to see how they're making their way back there, folks, we'll go to Goldman Sachs. You take a look at Goldman Sachs. We bring it back to 08. We put this on a weekly. And what you're going to see is that Goldman, you know, came off those highs, 193 bucks. You're at 111 right now. It was trading at, you know, April of 09. It was at 112. You know, BAC, I think, is even in worse shape. BAC, we go to 06. We take a look at this one. Set that up. BAC, yeah, BAC's there. Well, BAC's actually worse. BAC's back to April of 09. That's where they're making their way back. JP Morgan did the same thing. That made it back there. You know, so that is what the market in general, well, that's where it wants to go. Now, most of the time, what you're going to see is that one by one equities go back there. You know, I suspect still with closing out at the lows, there's going to be a rejection of price here because the amount of acceleration that we came down in this week versus last week, folks, is minimal. And price destruction, absolutely. But you need conviction behind that. And, you know, we'll see where it shakes out next week. If we take a look at the 3 Qs, what we have inside the 3 Qs is this. There she is. Okay. They came down the way they came down. They came down at 95 million shares today. That 95 million is going into 193. You're at those lows, though. When you're at lows like this, it wants to spike them. You know, the spike is going to be on here. And of course, what you don't want to see, if you understand the ABC structures, the last thing you want to see is these swing points get blown away with volume. You get blown away with volume, and we're going to be down into those 900 S&P quicker than you want to be. Well, here, let me give you the parameters. I don't see it happening, but why not give you the parameters? The parameter on the Qs would be that you need 200 million shares. We only did 95 million today. On the SPY, I don't see it, but let's you'd need over 800 million. You know, you need, well, actually 720 million. On the diamonds, what you'd need out there is you did 15 million today on the diamonds, and you need over 32 million. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day out there, and folks, make it a great weekend. We're going to be coming right back.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over